On today's show, I'm going to show you how to play all the lead guitar parts from Black Sabbath's Iron Man, so stick around. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be going through the lead guitar parts from Black Sabbath's Iron Man. This is a follow-up video to the one I did last week where we went through all the rhythm guitar parts, so between the two videos you should now be able to put all the pieces together. Go back and play along with my cover that I released 3 weeks ago. Before we jump into today's lesson, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as a little bell icon so you can be notified when the next video drops. And if you'd like to support my work, you can do so by buying me a coffee. There's a link down in the description below. Any contributions are greatly appreciated. First thing we have to cover, as always, is tuning. At this point in the band's career, they were still tuning up to E standard. So the notes from low to high are E, A, D, G, B, and E. So go ahead and tune up, and let's dive into today's lesson. Starting off the solo, we're going to be hammering on from the 7th to the 9th fret on the 6th string. I'm then going to pick the 7th and 9th fret on the 5th string. I'm going to pull off from the 9th fret to the 7th fret on the 5th string and end on the 9th fret of the 6th string. Putting that phrase together. Next phrase, I'm going to pick the 7th and the 9th fret on the 5th string. I'm then going to pick the 9th fret again and slide into the 11th. Putting that together. Next, I'm going to be playing the 9th fret on the 4th string 3 times, and on the 3rd time, hammering on to the 11th fret. Putting that whole phrase together from the beginning. Next, I'm going to be playing a double stop, which means I'm going to be taking the edge of my finger and I'm going to be barring the 9th fret on the 3rd and 2nd string. I'm going to play that twice. I'm then going to pull off from the 11th to the 9th fret on the 4th string and on the 11th fret of the 5th string. I'm then going to play that again. So 2 double stops, pull off from 11 to 9 on the 4th string and at the 11th fret on the 5th string. Let's put that whole phrase together. To finish off this section of the solo, I'm going to be doing a hammer on from the 9th to the 11th fret on the 4th string, and then I'm going to pick the 11th fret again and add a little bit of vibrato. All right, once more from the top. Moving on to the next section of the solo, I'm going to start by playing the 9th fret on the 3rd string, followed by the 11th fret on the 3rd string. I'm going to bend the 11th fret up a whole step so that my 11th fret sounds like my 13th fret. Here's what this is going to sound like. I'm then going to pick the 9th fret on the 1st string, and I'm going to do a pull-off from the 12th to the 9th fret on the 2nd string, ending on the 11th fret of the 3rd string. Let's put that whole phrase together now. Next phrase, I'm going to be doing a bar technique, playing the 9th fret of the 2nd string with the edge of my index finger. I'm then going to roll down on the tip of my index finger and play the 9th fret on the 3rd string twice, the 2nd time bending up a half step so that my 9th fret sounds like my 10th fret. Let's give that a try. Next phrase, I'm going to be picking 11, 9 on the 4th string and then doing a hammer on from 9 to 11 on the same string. Next, I'm going to be playing the 9th fret on the 3rd string, followed by the 11th fret and bending up a whole step. Then I'm going to be using my bar technique again, playing the 9th fret on the 2nd and the 1st string. Let's try this phrase again from the beginning. Next, I'm going to be doing a pull-off from the 12th to the 9th fret on the 2nd string, playing the 11th fret on the 3rd string, and ending on the 9th fret of the 2nd string. Putting that all together, I'm then going to repeat that pattern again. One more time for the beginning of this phrase. Third time through, I'm going to be doing a pull-off from the 12th to the 9th fret on the 2nd string, bending the 11th fret on the 3rd string up a whole step, and doing my roll technique to play the 9th fret on the 2nd and the 1st string. And I'm going to end that with a full bend on the 12th string. All right, let's go back and try it from the beginning of this section. All right, now onto the third part of the first solo. I'm going to start by playing the 9th fret on the first string, the 12th fret on the second string, and then the 9th fret 2 times on the second string. Putting those together. Next, I'm going to do 3 full bends on the 12th fret of the first string. Putting that whole phrase together. Next, I'm going to be doing a pull-off from the 12th to the 9th fret on the first string, playing the 12th fret on the second string, and the 9th fret on the first string. Putting that whole phrase together. And I'm going to finish that off by playing the 12th fret twice on the second string. The second time, I'm going to do a full bend. Let's put that whole phrase together from the beginning. Next phrase, I'm going to be bending the 12th fret on the second string up a full bend and playing the 9th fret on the first string. Then I'm going to be doing a pull-off from the 12th to the 9th fret on the second string, bending the 11th fret on the third string up a full step, and doing my roll technique again, playing the 9th fret on the second and the first string. Let's put that together from the beginning of the phrase. To finish off this phrase, I'm going to be doing a pull-off from the 12th fret to the 9th fret of the second string and finishing on the 11th fret of the third string. Putting this together from the beginning of the phrase. Moving on to the next phrase of the solo, I'm going to be doing a pull-off from the 11th to the 9th fret of the third string and then playing the 9th fret on the fourth string. Putting those together. Then I'm going to be doing a pull-off from the 11th to the 9th fret on the fourth string and playing the 11th fret on the 5th string. Putting those together from the beginning of the phrase. Then I'm going to play the 9th fret of the third string twice, and then do a pull-off from 11 to 9 on the third string, ending on the 11th fret of the 5th string. Putting that phrase together from the beginning. Next, I'm going to be doing a hammer-on from the 9th to the 11th fret on the 4th string, playing the 9th fret twice on the 3rd string. Then I'm going to be doing a pull-off from the 11th to the 9th fret on the 4th string again, ending on the 11th fret of the 5th string. Let's take that phrase from the beginning again. Finish off this phrase, I'm going to be doing a hammer-on from the 9th to the 11th fret on the 4th string, playing the 9th fret on the 3rd string, and then finishing on the 11th fret of the 4th string. Let's take this phrase from the top. Back to the beginning of this section, and let's play through the whole thing. Now we're on to the final phrase of the first solo. We're going to be doing some ghost note hammer-on. So I'm going to be picking the 9th fret on the 4th string and very quickly hammering onto the 11th fret. I'm going to be doing that 6 times. First 4 are evenly spaced. The last 2 you're going to play a little bit quicker. And then we're going to do that again for the second bar. And that is the entirety of the first solo. We're going to go ahead and play through this 3 more times. First time at 50% speed, then at 70% speed, and then at full speed, so you can practice along at home. Let's give it a shot. And let's do it once again, this time at 70% speed. And lastly, one more time at full tempo. So moving on to the second solo from Iron Man. This one is played during the outro of the song. It's a little bit of a faster pace, but don't worry. Follow along, learn your fingerings, practice with the metronome, and you'll eventually get it up to tempo. First phrase of the first part, I'm going to start by doing a hammer-on from the 5th to the 7th fret on the 5th string. I'm then going to play the 5th fret on the 4th string, followed by the 7th fret on the 5th. Putting that phrase together. Next, I'm going to be doing a slide from the 7th to the 9th fret on the 4th string. Then I'm going to play the 7th fret on the 3rd string, followed by the 9th fret on the 4th string. Now I'm going to finish that off by doing a hammer-on from the 7th to the 9th fret on the 3rd string. Putting that phrase together from the beginning. Next phrase, I'm going to be doing 3 bends, and these are going to be 1.5 step bends. So I'm going to be bending the 9th fret on the 3rd string to try and make it sound like the 12th fret on the 3rd string. I'm going to be bending up and then bringing them back down every time. I'm going to be doing 3 of those in a row. Next, I'm going to be playing the 7th fret on the 3rd string, followed by the 9th fret on the 4th string. And then I'm going to finish this off with a hammer-on from the 7th to the 9th fret on the 3rd string. Let's put this whole section together from the beginning. All right, next section, I'm going to start by doing a pull-off from the 12th to the 9th fret on the 3rd string. I'm going to be using my middle finger to slide from the 10th to the 12th fret on the 2nd string. And then I'm going to pick the 10th to the 12th fret on the 1st string. Put that phrase together. I'm then going to do 3 bends at the 12th fret on the 1st string. These are whole bends, so I want to make my 12th fret sound like my 14th fret. And then you're doing a hammer-on into a pull-off from the 10th to the 12th fret on the 1st string. Let's put that phrase together from the beginning, starting with the bends at the 12th fret. Next phrase, I'm going to start by playing the 10th fret on the 1st string. And then I'm going to do a pull-off from the 11th to the 10th fret on the 2nd string and slide down into the 8th fret on the 2nd string. To finish this off, I'm going to be picking the 10th to the 8th fret on the 2nd string and doing the same thing from the 9th to the 7th fret on the 3rd string. Putting that phrase together from the beginning. All right, let's take this section from the top. Moving on to the third part of the solo, I'm going to start by doing a pull-off from the 8th to the 7th fret on the 4th string, sliding down into the 5th fret on the 4th string. And then we'll be doing a pull-off from the 7th fret to the 5th fret on the 4th string and ending on the 7th fret of the 5th string. Let's put those 2 licks together. And we're going to finish this phrase off by doing a hammer-on from the 5 to 7 on the 4th fret, and the same thing on the 5th string. So from the top, starting at the 8th fret on the 4th string. So the next phrase, I'm going to be picking the 5th and 7th fret on the 4th string, picking the 7th fret again and sliding into the 9th. I'm then going to be playing the 7th fret on the 3rd string, followed by the 9th fret on the 4th string. And finishing this off, I'm going to be doing a hammer-on from the 7th to the 9th fret on the 3rd string. Let's take that phrase from the top, then we'll go back and do the whole section from the beginning. All right, now let's do the whole section from the beginning. We're now into the 4th and final part of the second solo. I'm going to start by doing 6 bends at the 9th fret on the 3rd string, and all except the 4th are a bend and release. So I'm going to be going up and down, up and down, up and down. 4th time I'm just going to bend up, and the last 2 times I'm going to bend back up and down again. It's going to sound like this. I'm then going to play the 7th fret on the 3rd string, followed by the 9th fret on the 4th string. Finish off that phrase. So from the beginning. Next phrase, I'm going to start by playing the 7th fret on the 3rd string. Then I'm going to do a pull off from the 8th fret to the 7th fret and slide down to the 5th fret on the 4th string. Play the 7th fret on the 4th string, and then do a hammer on from the 5th to the 7th fret on the 4th string. Putting that phrase together. And to finish the solo off, I'm going to be doing 3 bends at the 7th fret on the 4th string. These are half-step bends. So I'm going to try to make my 7th fret sound like my 8th fret. And the 3rd bend, I'm going to bend up and back down again. And to finish off, I'm going to play the 5th fret on the 4th string and the 7th fret on the 5th string. Put that last phrase together. All right, let's try the 4th section from the top. All right, now let's do the full solo from the top 3 times in a row, 1 at 50% speed, 1 at 70% speed, and 1 at 100% speed. Let's give it a try. And now one more time at 70% speed. And finally, one more time at full tempo. And that's it for today's video. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and drop a like down below. And if you would like to request a song on this channel, go ahead and add it to the comments down below. I do read the comments and I do take viewer requests. Happy to put whatever you guys would like to see on the channel. Till next time.